I know what we can do.
I don't know how these other Hollywood stars do it, but these lights are really bright. Anyway, I'm here to answer a real estate question or two. I'm Rob Merhaut with RE/MAX Whatcom Counties. This is my 25th year selling real estate. And does anybody have any questions here?
I do.
Hi, Tammy.
Hi, Rob.
Thanks for asking a question.
You are welcome.
What's your question?
I would like to know what closing costs would be for a house around $400,000.
Okay, well, to break it down, there's buyer's closing costs, there's seller's closing costs. And today, let's just talk about buyer's closing costs. This is a $400,000 purchase, give or take. We'll go over a few closing costs with this recent purchase on behalf of some buyers in a beautiful home in the county. For one thing, there's FHA, Federal Housing Administration, there's Veterans Administrations. Now, I don't think it is always the best way. I'm a vet. I've never used my benefits. Anyhow, that's a different topic, what type of loan to get. We can talk about that next time. For now, we're going to concern ourselves with a $420,000 purchase, a conventional loan, and putting 20% down to avoid mortgage insurance. For this particular loan, the buyers use a bank that I'm not familiar. I mean, I'm familiar with them, but I don't use them. I don't recommend them. They'll get the job done, but sometimes I might think that they're a little spendy. I'm not going to mention names. We have other banks that we can talk about. One of my jobs, I believe, is to try to find the best match for you in service and economics, and we've done that pretty effectively, I believe, because I'm somewhat frugal in my day-to-day world, and I like to pass that on. Why pay more for the same product? Anyhow, this particular loan had a 1.5% origination fee. That would be 1.5 points. A point is equivalent to a percentage point. So that's 1.5% of the loan. That came out to almost $5,000. Between some of the other random fees that bank charged, some folks would call them bank fees, other folks refer to them in a joking manner as junk fees. Those totaled another, they totaled about maybe another $6,500. And we had prepaids. Prepaids are another term for prepaying your homeowner's insurance, maybe HOA dues if applicable, taxes. Usually you have to pay them up to the end of the year. Those are one-time charges that'll pay off what you would owe over a period of 3, 6 months, maybe even 9 months, who knows. But they'll pay off quite a bit of what's going to be owed in the future, and you won't have to pay them on a month-to-month basis. You'll also have possibly flood insurance fees. This loan had flood insurance owed at $57 a month, and that's about what, $650, $700 a year. Maybe not the end of the world. It's required. Whether or not you want to buy a house in a floodplain, you got to pay flood insurance. The banks will require it. There's going to be title and escrow charges. Title is paid for title insurance. So title insurance is something the sellers typically pay for. It's not a law, but they typically pay for that. The buyers will typically pay additional title insurance for their lender. And that's borne by the buyer. Escrow is split in half. Escrow is where your deal is closed. That'll say maybe Chicago Title Company, Whatcom Land Title Company, First American Title, Guardian Title. One of those, they will be a nonpartisan third party that brings the monies in and distributes the monies out. They are licensed practical officers in Washington State. In this case, at a $420,000 transaction, it was $681 for each side. That pays for a neutral third party to, like I said, accept the funds, disperse the funds, signings for buyer, for seller. They work with the lenders. They're very professional. we work with several in this market. The last thing you might concern yourself with before you own your house is, actually there's one more thing. The last thing might be recording fees. In this case, they're $600, one of which was for the deed itself, and one of which was for the deed of trust, which goes hand in hand with your mortgage. Those are the big fees. The last thing I would have to say is congratulations. And if you buy a house, I think it's the way I've found over the years to increase money, oftentimes tax-free, and it gives you a place to live. Have a great day. God bless you. Adios.